Lot 259, a gold watch in an egg form case by Vacheron and Constantin. Every word of this description is accurate. It sold for $2,450. It was a Faberge Imperial Easter egg. Nobody stole this egg, nobody hid it. For 92 years it sat in plain sight, in auction rooms and in living rooms, described correctly by everybody who handed it. Today you will see exactly where a $50 million object goes missing, and it isn't a valued or haste. It happened on a line of paperwork. By the end you'll know which word decides what a thing is worth.
Easter 1887. Alexander III gives his wife an egg. 3¼ inches tall, gold, standing on lion's paw feet, and it opens. Inside is a lady's watch by Vacheron and Constantin, mounted so that when the lid comes up the dial stands upright to be read. It was built in the St. Petersburg workshop of August Holmstrom, Faberge's head jeweler. It is the third of the imperial eggs, the third of 50 that Faberge would deliver to the Romanovs across 30 years. 43 of those 50 are accounted for today. This one was not for 92 years. And the reason has nothing to do with theft. Nobody stole it. It got written down wrong. There's exactly one picture of it from the Russian years. In 1902, the von der Vis mansion in St. Petersburg held an exhibition of Faberge, and Maria Feodorovna lent her eggs to it. Somebody photographed the display case. In that image, behind glass, at an angle, small, is our egg. It is the only thing on earth connecting the object to the Empress, and for 109 years nobody looked at it closely enough for it to matter. Hold on to that because it decides everything that follows. The evidence was public the whole time, printed, catalogued, available to anyone. What was missing was never information. What was missing was somebody putting two pictures side by side. 1917, the Bolsheviks take the imperial collections. The eggs travel from the palaces to the Moscow Kremlin armory, and the armory does what every institution does with a new object. It writes an inventory line. Here is what that line says about ours: a lady's gold watch set into a gold egg. That is accurate. It is gold. It is an egg. There is a watch inside it. Every word true, and the line is worthless because it does not contain the one word that matters. It does not say Faberge. The 1922 Soviet inventory lists sapphires, a diamond pushpiece, a gold pedestal, and no maker at all. That is the moment this egg is lost, not stolen, catalogued. 1922. The Soviet government needs hard currency, and it has rooms full of objects whose owners are not coming back. The policy even has a name: Treasures into Tractors. Under it, the egg is signed over to Ivan Gavrilovich Chinaryov, special plenipotentiary of the Council of People's Commissars. That signature is the last record of this object in Russia. After it, nothing. No shipping manifest, no dealer's ledger, no customs entry, no photograph. Specialists today will tell you plainly that they do not know how this egg reached America. Not that they have a theory they prefer. They do not know. 42 years of the object's life are simply blank. So what does a missing Faberge egg look like while it is missing? Not a hole in a museum wall. It looks like an ordinary object that somebody owns and nobody questions. 7 imperial eggs are unaccounted for tonight, and the ones that do turn up are never found in vaults. They turn up in ordinary rooms. Every one of the 7 is, right now, being described by whoever owns it as something. A trinket, an heirloom, a gold thing that belonged to a grandmother. None of those descriptions is a lie. Each is just missing a word. And here is the uncomfortable part. The object does not care. It has been a masterpiece the entire time. March the 7th, 1964. Park Burnett, Madison Avenue, New York. A New Yorker named Rena Clark is selling. Lot 259. The catalog entry is careful and detailed. A 14-karat gold watch in a reeded egg-shaped case with a 75-point old mine diamond clasp by Vacheron and Constantin on an 18-karat 3-color gold stand, 3¼ inches high. Read that again. It is correct. Every measurement, every carat weight, the maker's name, all of it right. It sells for $2,450, 875 pounds, to a woman from the American South. And there is one detail in that catalog that saves this story 50 years later. They printed a photograph, 2011. Two Faberge researchers, Vincent and Anna Palmate, are doing what researchers do, reading old catalogs. They find the 1964 Parquet Bernal listing, and beside it a photograph, and they set that image next to the one taken at the Bondervis exhibition in 1902. Same egg, same stand, same everything. That is the whole discovery. No laboratory, no X-ray, no chemical analysis of the gold. Two pictures, 109 years apart, finally set beside each other by somebody who happened to be looking. The egg is now found in the sense that matters least. On paper, nobody has the faintest idea where the physical object is or that its owner is about to melt it. Meanwhile, in the American Midwest, a man who buys scrap metal for a living is walking a flea market. He's not looking for art. He's looking for gold he can melt. He finds a small gold egg on a stand with a watch inside it, and he runs the arithmetic his whole trade runs on. Weight times purity times the spot price of gold minus what I paid. He pays about $14,000 and expects to clear a few hundred. Then he takes it to buyers, and the arithmetic will not work. Every one of them tells him the same thing: you paid too much. He cannot sell it at a profit as metal. So he takes it home and puts it in his kitchen. He leaves it there for years. And this is the part that should make you uncomfortable, because there is no version of this where the object was safe. It survived because a man overpaid by a few $100s and was annoyed about it. That is the entire margin. Eventually he does what anybody would do. He types what is engraved on the watch into a search engine, Vacheron and Constantin, and the word egg. What comes back is a Sunday Telegraph article from 2011 about a frantic hunt for a lost Faberge Easter egg, and it carries a photograph. He looks at it. Then he looks up at his kitchen counter. He flies to London, walks into Wardsky, the dealers named in that article, and says he thinks he has it. Keir McCarthy flies back across the Atlantic with him to look. To, in his own description, a very modest home in the Midwest, next to a highway and a Dunkin' Donuts. And there it is, on the kitchen counter, standing next to a cupcake. It is real. Now hold on to the number you have already heard, because this is where the story gets told wrong everywhere. $33 million. That figure is not a price. It is a valuation, printed in that 2011 Telegraph article before anybody had found anything at all. The egg sold in 2014 privately through Wardsky for a sum that has never been disclosed. So what is it worth? The honest answer is that nobody outside that room knows. But we can bracket it because on the 2nd of December 2025, Christie's in London sold another one, the winter egg, made for the same woman, Maria Feodorovna, 26 years later. The bidding lasted 3 minutes. It made £22,895,000, about $30.2 million, a world's record for anything Faberge ever made, and the first imperial egg at auction in 23 years. That is what a confirmed price looks like. Public, timed, witnessed by a room. Our egg has never had one. It has a newspaper valuation, repeated until it hardened into a fact, which is precisely the thing that made it cheap in the first place.
A thing worth its material plus what somebody can prove about it. Everybody who handed this egg described it accurately. Gold, watch, egg, maker, measurements. All correct, all worthless. Because every description was missing one word, and that word was never hidden. It's set in a photograph, in an archive, with whole time. What is the gap between thing being valuable and a thing being known to be valuable? And here it was 109 years wide. If you want the version of this, you can act on tonight. Watch one of the 1943 Cooper penny. Same mechanism, much smaller object, and there is a 1-second test which sets it. Almost everything people bring in fails. Subscribe and start there.